Hey guys, the Terminator 360 here, and today we'll be reviewing every single Ninjago Season 15 Seabound minifigure, as well as Season 15 custom Ray and Maya, characters that appeared in the show but didn't come in the sets. There will be timestamps in the description if you want to see a specific thing. Make sure to like and subscribe. Let's go! Starting off the review, we have Scuba Nya, as she is the main character of Seabound, and I really think this is my favorite and best quality minifigure of the wave. They really nailed it with NRG Nya, and these Nya suits recently have been looking incredible. First off, let's talk about something generic for all the ninja, the helmet and gear. Here we have Nya's helmet in light blue visor, and we can see here the snorkel piece, as well as the belt, and the respirator and sword holder on the back are all one piece, which looks incredible, but it's a pain when we have to take off when we take a look at the back in a second. Torso detailing is impeccable. It looks so tactical with the light blue and the gunmetal and black highlights and straps. I also really like that light blue circle on the black and the gunmetal. It really gives it some nice contrast, as well as the N in the Ninjago language written in huge orange as an undertone. I think it really works with the color. Under the tactical belt, we have her regular ninja belt, which looks great in gunmetal. Plus, we have the knee pads and the different straps. Taking a look at the back, we can see it basically continues the same pattern of the three notches of the light blue with the black outlines, as well as the black and gunmetal tactical stuff. The arms are very clearly dark gray, and I really like how they have that little yellow strand as it connects the rest of her suit to her oxygen tank. The next scuba suit we have is Scuba Lloyd, which I'm probably going to be honest, is probably my least favorite scuba suit of the wave. One, because of the way Lloyd's face is designed. His mouth looks way too reflective in the windshield, and I can erase that with a pencil eraser. It's no big deal, but still, it's an annoying little detail to have included in the original figure. Of course, the scuba gear looks great. It's the same thing we just took a look at on Nya, but the torso printing really doesn't hit for me. I don't think the orange accents work good on the green. I feel it should have been gold or some sort of other color, since this just doesn't work the way it does on Nya. I do appreciate the black and dark green uses, but the yellow really brings this suit down, and I wish they'd done the front in a similar way they did the back. Here's the back printing, which I think is much more visually appealing than the front, since we only have tiny highlights of yellow, which works so much better with Lloyd's green color scheme. I really like the scale look they tried giving it on the back, and I think it really fits some sort of tactical ocean diving suit. Next up, we have Scuba Kai, which is sort of a Digi Zane situation. It was a suit that never appeared in the show and is non-canon, but this time LEGO actually made it, and I'm so happy they learned from their past mistakes with Digi Zane and produced this official non-canon figure. But I am disappointed because this design is so good. I'm disappointed that it wasn't used in the show. First of all, I really like how Kai's red mask works with the respirator belt and tank piece. Red and black is like this iconic color combo, and I love it so much as they really work off of each other. I may get rid of his bandage with an eraser as it just looks weird through the visor, or I may keep it. We'll see. The torso printing is just amazing with the giant silver piece on top of the dark red straps and the silver tactical belt. I feel the yellow highlights really work well here. Fun fact, the highlights under their suits in yellow is the first letter of their name in the Ninjago language. Nya was N, Lloyd was L, and Kai's is K. And I think it works here since it kind of gives it a fiery Kai-like feel. Leg printing is, of course, amazing. Same as the back, as it's just a continuation of the front with a giant silver piece on top. A continuation of those dark red straps, as well as the detail of a little zipper at the back of his suit. Next up, we have Scuba Cole, which is another canon suit since Kai and Cole stayed on land to protect Ninjago, while everybody else was going in the sea to find answers for Nya's powers malfunctioning. This one, I love the torso design. Cole, black and orange is such an amazing combo, the same as red and yellow and red and black. And I think they work super good here with the C and the Ninjago language at the center, with those silver hooks, as well as the orange arms. The legs also look amazing. I like the shade of it's a very unique color that they used for the belt. The only thing that really disappoints me in this figure is the way his helmet interacts with the respirator. With Nya and Kai, it looked super unique and had some contrast, but with Cole, it just kind of looks like a giant black blob. Then we have the back printing, which I just feel looks amazing with the orange on top with those dark gunmetal circles, as well as the scale-like feel with the gray and the black highlights under, of course. Next up, we have Scuba Jay, which I feel is a pretty average figure compared to the rest of them. All of these suits, except Lloyd, rank pretty high among the other ninja suits if I was to rank each of them individually, but among themselves, Jay is probably just in the middle. He has a really cool torso print, but it kind of looks like suspenders if you look at it with a certain way. He also have the J Ninjago language under in the orange, and I really feel Jay has a nice color interaction with orange and yellow, as we can see it on little details in his season 11 suit. Let me just bring that in. We can see it on his headpiece and the torso. And I really liked how that works with Jay. I don't like how the mask interacts with the scuba gear. It's not as bright and vivid as the others did, and it's not a blob like Cole. So again, in the middle. The back printing, again, it kind of looks like suspenders, which I'm not too fond of, and it does have that little string or tank or pipe's the right word, connecting it to his oxygen tank, which I also think is a nice little speck of color. Again, not the best figure, not the worst, but it's just in the middle. Ending the scuba suits, we have Scuba Zane, and this figure is my second favorite scuba suit, right next to Nya, just because of how good it is and how the colors interact with each other. I love how the light blue visor interacts with the black respirator, as well as how his light blue belt interacts with the white legs. The orange undertone of the Z in the Ninjago language is also a nice detail, as well as the top kind of being his chest with the heart piece we saw in Island Zane. That's a really cool detail to like to follow. Speaking of details, let's take a look at the back. The detail I wanted to point out here is he doesn't have a pipe connecting his body to the tank, since he's a robot and he doesn't need it to breathe, and they even made a joke about that in the season, but he was just like, I want to wear this cool attire, since he had this pirate voice setting on. Really glad they included that detail on the back printing, and it wasn't really needed. I also really like how the back has the light blue many little dots in the center, as well as the two straps and the gunmetal and silver highlights and overtones. Next up, we have the other Nya minifigure from this season, Nya in her Nyan form, or when she chose to become one with the ocean to save everybody. This figure, now, while I love it so much and it's so unique and special, in my opinion, it's not on the level of Scuba Nya, just because I really like the design of that, and one little detail we'll get to in a second. First off, I really like how they used the Mysterio piece from Spider-Man in light blue and dark blue. That is a really cool detail. Take her out. You can see the piece right there. It just kind of makes a floating effect, especially with Nya's water. You have two studs in there, and then Nya just snaps right in. You can see the light printing is just a continuation of the torso printing, which is amazing with the light blue, dark blue, and white. This is officially called NRG Nya, which doesn't make sense since NRG is true potential, but in a way I can see what the LEGO designers were doing naming her that. The hairpiece I was a little bit worried about when we saw the leaks, but it's really incredible in person, especially from the side. It's transparent blue with a dark blue headband, and it's just amazing. Then the back, we have this really cool backpack thing for all her water strands, which is very adjustable. We can move them back and forward, move each strand around in a circular motion. Now, here is the back of the minifigure. You can see it has the N in the Ninjago language in white with swirls of sea around it. And now my one big problem with the minifigure, it's the face. It looks way too much like Pixel in my opinion, and they should have used something like the Air Jitsu Nya face like I did on my custom. I feel that would have worked much better. Next up, we have Benthomaar, and like, what is there not to love about this guy? His character in the show was very deep, as he has a deep personal connection to the main villain, Kalmar, as they are stepbrothers. He's always tried to be friends with him, and Kalmar's always pushed him away, showing their different personalities, and that really creates a bond and rivalry between the two more than just good and evil. And because of how his personality works, it also really works off the ninja as well. I really like how they nailed his hair using the Joker from the Lego Batman movie hairpiece in black, as well as the face, which I think captures him perfectly. We have happy, and then on the other side, extremely angry, which were basically his emotions throughout the whole show. And I think maybe one thing they could have done different is give him sort of a worried face, but this is probably perfect the way it is. The torso is really reflective in the light, especially the straps, which are gold and bronze, and I really like how they use dark blue and different shades of blue to really capture his look from the show. And the back printing is just a continuation of what we see in the front, and this is probably the perfect minifigure. And we have next up my custom Ray and Maya. I really, really, really wish they included these in season 15, but instead in the Hydra Bounty they included these two Woobots, which I'm not even putting here since why? But yeah, click the card for my tutorial on how to make these guys, as well as me just going through how they look in general. Next up, we have Wu in his season 11 outfit, Misako in her regular outfit, which came out in season 5, Clutch in his regular outfit with a leg upgrade I added. It is from Killmonger from Black Panther, and Vania. These are all minifigures from previous seasons who appear in season 15 Seabound, and they keep their same look and suit, so no need for new minifigures. I've already reviewed these 100 times, so I just wanted to point out these actually appear in the season. Other minifigures that return this season are Chief Mamatis and the rest of the Keepers. These sets are still on shelves, along with the Seabound sets in everywhere in the world except America, which the Seabound set released August 1st. But either way, these minifigures are still on shelves and appear in season 15, so just worked out perfectly. Next up, we have the main villain of the show, which I think is a perfectly balanced villain. And I think that because he himself gave us the season the dark and gritty feel for the more mature audience, because the show has been going on for so long, and me and many other Ninjago fans are teenagers at this point, by the way he acts, the way he talks, what his goals are, and the fact that he literally murdered his father on screen, and he also balanced it with the goofy side of Ninjago and the fun joke side of Ninjago, making it a perfectly balanced season. And I think that is such an amazing thing that they found a way to satisfy both the younger and older audience. Now, while the completely dark and gritty like SOG and Hunted may be my favorite, this is perfectly balanced and satisfies everybody. The torso printing is incredible and on point. The leg piece is wow. It's especially made for him, and just it's so intricate and detailed. While we're here, take a look at the back. And my only complaint about this thing is the head. It just looks, the mold is perfect, but the way they did his eyes, he just looks so lifeless and not as vivid as in the show. He looks like he's dead, and it's just such a weird thing to see on the figure. Next up, we have the two versions of the Moray Guard, Glutinous, a named Moray Guard who is kind of the brainy one on the left, and the generic Moray Guard on the right. Now, they both have the same head mold, which is disappointing in my opinion that it isn't transparent blue, because the Pyro Whippers and Pyro Destroyers who use the same mold had transparent orange. Now, while these look better from far away since it's less dull, I think close up it's a real disappointment and just makes them feel cheaper overall. The shoulder pads on the generic Moray Guard is just the new Overlord 2021 shoulder pads, but on Glutinous, he has this really cool intricate build backpack to go along with his cybernetic legs, and it's just one awesome build which is just condensed into his legs. You can see, since Glutinous is a named one, he has a special torso, and by that I mean, look, you can see in the middle, it's basically a very similar design, except he has the blue in the middle and the pipes, making him having a more unique and more detailed look. And the regular Moray Guard just has the leg printing continuing from the torso. This is just a really quick thing. If we add the season 13 Shintaro parts, it just makes it look like a more unique and more special armor. It is featured on one of the Moraine generals, but he has like a yellow facial expression, and that would require a whole nother round of customizing. Just a cool thing I wanted to point out here. If you haven't already, hit my channel logo to subscribe. Click the top playlist to watch how to make customs of these minifigures. Click the bottom video to see me recap the entire history of Ninjago in under 3 minutes. And click the recommended video on the right. I'm sure you'll enjoy it as well. Signing off for now. Have a good one. See you next time.